You think that I could be an Illuminati member?
Blood. That's Holly Weird for you.
So good. What the fuck is this? But what is this? Like,
Welcome to the channel. It's me, Vandal. I hope you're having an excellent day. Let's get to the videos.
You think that I could be an Illuminati member?
I think you potentially could be an Illuminati member, Dr. Phil. I don't think that you get this amount of power and influence and media coverage without taking a deal.
With who?
The Illuminati. They would come and say, Dr. Phil, we can offer you all the money. We can offer you power. We can offer you influence. You just need to take a deal with us.
Could I be wearing a mask?
You could. Could I get up and look?
No, how are you going to look?
I'm just gonna...
Yeah, go ahead. What do you think?
I think that the technology is so advanced.
Let me tell you, sister, if I was wearing a mask, it wouldn't look like this.
So good, though. To honor the definitive queen of Scream, Jamie Lee Curtis, here is Nev Campbell.
Like, oh, fucking fake, chicken on me. When I do, I took it back. Fool me twice, that's my bad. I can't even blame her for that. Enough to make me want to murder. Please, get my bell. I'm a beast.
It only returns when pork prices drop low enough. It's the boomerang of fast food. You throw it away, but it keeps coming back. What are you eating? Not actual ribs. It's ground pork shoulder and trimmings pressed into a rib shape. It's like ordering ribs and getting a cardboard cutout with wheels. The fake shape is held together with meat glue. Yes, meat glue is real, and not what you want to think about while eating. The ingredient list reads like a chemistry experiment. It once contained azotocarbonamide, used in yoga mats and shoe soles. When your sandwich shares ingredients with yoga equipment, you're getting more flexibility than you bargained for. McDonald's removed this chemical, but what else lurks in that patty?
Pork shaped like a rib with meat glue. When you have to start using glue to keep the food together, maybe it's time to start thinking about different dining arrangements. You're basically eating edible arts and crafts.
Dude, have y'all seen this video right here yet, man? This is absolutely mind-blowing, dude. Y'all gotta stop eating this stuff, man.
McDonald's, what the fuck is this? But what is this? Like, I've heard of a cheese pool from mozzarella stick, but what is this? I start pulling and it's like I can hang the sandwich. This is not right, McDonald's. Chicken doesn't do this. This isn't chicken. And here I thought this was a better option of your chicken sandwiches because I thought it was like better quality. But this is a fucking chicken yo-yo.
Does anybody else besides me feel extremely tired? Like, no matter how much sleep you get, it just feels like it's not enough sleep. I can't explain it. It just feels weird. Like, you could sleep 10 hours, 8 hours, whatever, and you just still feel tired. I know I can't be the only one feeling like this recently. Something really feels off in the atmosphere. Something just feels very weird. And I know I can't be the only one that is feeling like this. Does anybody else besides me feel like this? Like you just feel like you're going through the motions throughout the day and you just feel extremely drained. Comment down below and you tell me.
It's not just burnout anymore. The planet put snooze on everyone.
Dude, they got her. I'm not kidding. Look at her hand. Look at Chloe's hand. Look how it's gray, man. I've got the answers. I know what happened, seriously. So this right here was Chloe before, man. Somebody explain. Hold on. Before we go to that, just check us out. What about this chick right here off Wicked? What's up with their hands being like... Explain it. Because before... Okay, it cut her... Anyways, before, dude, she had fat hands. But now they're... Anyways, hold on. Same thing with Ariana Grande, dude. Look at her before. Woo-wee. What happened to her, man? I mean, how can we help her is what I want to know. Seriously, man. All of these Hollywood people, dude, they go from looking like normal, good looking, whatever, to something happens to them and they go looking like this. Now, somebody tell me why they go looking like this. Tell me, okay? Did y'all know that I use electroculture in my garden too, man? Check out this strawberry, man. Electroculture is where you get copper, you put a little spiral, anyways, look at the difference in that and none. Explain that to me. If it doesn't work, explain it. But back to Chloe, though, man. Look, if you really want to know, dude, go...
Are they building in real time? Because they're switching actors out mid-season. Hollywood felt like a reboot in real time.
So rich people aren't trying to get into heaven. They're trying to live forever. Some are funding brain uploads. Others are literally injecting young blood. If vampires were real, they wear Patagonia vests. They're not just throwing money at vitamins and cold plunges. We're talking about actual billionaires trying to upload their minds into machines. Like Dmitry Iskov, a Russian multimillionaire who launched the 2045 initiative to transfer consciousness into android body. His goal, to never die, just to upgrade. Meanwhile, tech executives are investing in death predictive AI, not to help you, of course, just to know when they need a new heart grown in a lab. Some are even backing experiments in head transplants. Yeah, Frankenstein stuff, but with TED Talk lighting. And then there's cryogenics, freezing your body or the brain the second you die, hoping someone in the future defrosts you rich. That whole Disney conspiracy coming to life. Companies like Al Gore already have vaults full of heads on ice, and none of them seem that interested in fixing the world. They just want to outlive it. Build bunkers, launch to Mars, become eternal cloud ghosts while the rest of us roast on a dying planet. Remember, Peter Thiel did say death is a problem to be engineered out of.
They're injecting young blood and calling it biohacking. If vampires exist, they'll definitely be driving Teslas and gatekeeping Whole Foods.
What's a conspiracy theory you 100% know is true?
Root canals. There's this YouTube video, which before was a documentary on Netflix before it got pulled after 2 weeks, known as The Root Cause. The Root Cause discusses the big psyop by dental industry and by big pharma to people's health up through root canals. You can't even watch it in the United States. You have to turn on a VPN because it's banned by the American Dental Association, which is in bed with big pharma. I had a root canal recently removed, and once they did the DNA biopsy on the tooth, they found 20 different types of parasites growing and living inside of my jaw. Stay away from fluoride. Stay away from root canal.
Over 20 parasites found in this man's jaw. When your molars qualify as a horror show, maybe it's time to skip the dentist and take a trip to the CDC.
Timbaland has signed the first AI artist. Real artists should probably be shitting their pants right now. This is not a human. This is a computer-generated image of a pop star. And this artist, Tata, was just signed by Timbaland. They're calling this genre A-pop, which would be like AI pop. This is an article from Billboard. Timbaland has launched his own AI entertainment company called Stage Zero, and its first signee is that artist, Tata. This is all driven by something called Suno AI, which makes AI-generated music. One of the co-founders, Mudaliar, said, "The artists of tomorrow won't just be human, they'll be IP, code and robotics that are fully autonomous." That is what these companies are going for. Autonomous musical robots. Like, this is something out of Black Mirror that look human, sound human, perform like humans. Apparently, Timbaland has been an advocate for AI music, which is interesting to me because producers can just like walk onto the AI scene now and like make stuff in minutes. Timbaland said, "What used to take me 3 months only takes me 2 days now to make." I honestly feel like that's kind of scary, man. I think we're about to lose the soul of music. Something's got to give here with the music and the art industry and this AI stuff.
Timberland signed the AI rapper. We hit a timeline when Cole has a better mixtape than you.
Now, a lot of people, which gets really weird, when you see like celebrities of 2025, they look like people of the past. And they showed this even with Alex Jones. It was like a new Alex Jones and then the old Alex Jones.
Nicolas Cage. There's quite a few Nicolas Cage doppelgangers.
Yes. So all of these different people, they look like they have clones. So it makes you wonder. But what I did find, which was interesting with the cloning, when a egg is at a certain point, it can be split and then it can produce a twin. And so then I started thinking, well, we think of clones because that's what we're taught, like the whole thing what they talk about. But then I started to think about, what about twins? What about when you have like, I don't know, triplets or something like that? And that was the only information I could find on potential cloning, and that the people are being cloned or whatever it is and then multiplying XYZ out. But I couldn't find much because when I started going into the DNA and the gene and that whole thing, because that's the PCR test.
Let me tell you a true story, so boom. Why is it that every weekend it's cloudy, it's raining? Why is that? But on the weekdays, it's nice and sunny. And let's not forget, guys, people don't get to enjoy the weekdays because they work. They got to come home. They got to pick up their kids. So why is it always nice on the weekdays and raining and cloudy on the weekends? Can somebody answer that question? Can you? And let's not forget, guys, I've been waking up tired all the time. Even if I had a full night's rest, I'm tired. Why? I don't know, guys. Why? Why is that? People work all week to enjoy the weekend. And then when the weekend comes, it's raining, it's cloudy, it's windy. I don't know, guys. I don't know anything. I'm asking a question. Why is that? And time seems to be going faster and faster. What is going on out here, guys? People are saying that we're in the end times. But I don't believe none of that. We're right on time. Shh, don't you really say it. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm out.
Sunny all week, storms every weekend. Is this a coincidence or somebody is adding misery to the forecast?
Is it possible that the people around us are not real and they're actually just dreaming themselves into our reality? I had a pretty bizarre dream last night that seems to confirm this. Last night I was dreaming that I was in a grocery store. I don't know about you, but I've been having many dreams about grocery stores lately, and most of these dreams are lucid, which means that I'm conscious during the dream. I am aware that I am dreaming. My last grocery store dream had to do with a reptilian, so if you want to see that one, check it out in my reptilian playlist. But in last night's grocery store dream, I was standing in line and I realized that I was dreaming. I don't know how to explain it, but usually in lucid dreams, things just seem more bright. They seem more clear, and my mind is conscious of the fact that I'm dreaming. So I asked the guy next to me who's standing in line at the grocery store if he realizes that we're in a dream. The guy looks at me and he's like, "This isn't a dream. This is my reality. I'm not dreaming." What? So does that mean that in our reality, there are other people dreaming themselves into our reality? It is a good question. Let me know your thoughts down below and follow for more esoteric weird stories.
The following home security footage has gone viral, and it's for a good reason. People believe this may be an actual alien captured by the Ring camera. This was captured on June 5th, 2025 in Compton, California. And so many questions have arisen, especially why this house? And did anything happen to this family? Take a look at this footage, comment below, tell me what you think.
Out of all the galaxies they could have visited, they visit Compton. The aliens are either fearless or is looking for tacos.
How lifelike realistic are the masks? If you were in the room with this person wearing the mask, would you notice that it's a mask?
You would not notice unless you told a really hysterical joke and the person couldn't laugh hysterically. It had limits. It could smile, couldn't laugh hysterically. I wore those masks in a couple of pretty tight situations and no one knew until I announced it.
Jonna, is it right that you wore that in front of George H.W. Bush? And could he tell?
I did wear it. Brent Scowcroft was in the room, Bob Gates, John Sununu. No one else had any idea until I took it off.
No idea. I had no idea.
So you did it just to show them that this was possible. Is that right?
Absolutely. I wanted the president to see that we had taken disguise to a really dramatically new level.
Did you take one home as a souvenir? Are you in that? Is that you? Are you in there? Is that you in the mask?
This is just me. And in the image, yeah, that's me. Taken off my head.
What?
And John Sununu had not been listening. He'd been working on his own notes. So he just glanced up when I did that. And he let out this funny little noise, like not a shriek, somewhere between a shriek and a squeak.
A guy wore a full mask in front of the president and no one noticed. This isn't espionage with a full clearance.
What the hell in the Chernobyl is going on in Ohio, y'all? Over 5,000 gallons of toxic nitric acid just spilled at the Austin powder plant in Zaleski, Ohio, y'all. And they telling everybody to evacuate. Get up out of there. So if you around that spot, if you in 30 miles of that area, they telling you got to get the hell up out of there. I'm hearing right now, they're already bringing the hazmat people. They are bringing Red Cross. They are bringing hella emergency people on the scene right now. They said this leak is so dangerous that the FAA is locking down a 30-mile radius no-fly zone up to 20,000 feet. Now, what I'm trying to figure out is, how the hell did this happen? Somebody explain to me. At this point, y'all, this is not no little spill. This is a catastrophe, if you ask me. Look at that shit. Somebody let me know. Is this another East Palestine situation? I need y'all thoughts down below on this. Let me know.
Another toxic spill in Ohio. At this point, Ohio is America's beta testing zone for apocalypses.
So marine archaeologists say that they found a 10,000-year-old playground underwater. You just heard what I said, right? A 10,000-year-old playground underwater. Matter of fact, look at this shit.
200 miles off Hawaii's coast, a team from the Oceanic Exploration Institute has uncovered what they're calling a prehistoric playground. At the ocean floor, they found stone structures, slides, circular platforms, and carved seats, what appears to be a staircase straight from a science fiction novel, arranged in a pattern that suggests a play area, dating back roughly 10,000 years to the end of the ice age.
10,000 years ago.
Carbon dating of...
Now, if they found that shit underwater, you gotta ask yourself, what else is under there? They said that was a playground from 10,000 years ago. First and foremost, how do you know exactly how many years it's been in there? And second, again, if that's there, what about those cities that went missing? Where are they at? You see, what they do is they dig and they dig and they dig and they dig. And one time, y'all gonna dig and y'all gonna bring some shit back that y'all not supposed to bring back. Apparently, if it's going missing, it's going missing for a reason. But, y'all so curious. You know what they say curiosity did, right? Pay attention.
Slides and swings under the ocean. Either history is a lie or Atlantis ran the chillest daycare on Earth.
I'm still debating on whether or not Nikola Tesla actually existed.
I've heard that theory too. I've heard a lot of people say that because the amount of patents that he filed in a very short amount of time, it was kind of inhuman.
Yeah, but there are other sort of stranger anomalies to Tesla. For example, he never had sex, so he has no offspring. There are no descendants from him. But he did have siblings. One died. His older brother died when he was younger. It fell off a horse. But I cannot find a single living descendant. And I've reached out. I contacted his museum. They said that they didn't know the whereabouts of any of his descendants. The other thing is that if you look for video footage of him, this is a pioneer of technology who gave public talks and lectures and allegedly wrote for journals and magazines. People would pay him to come to dinner if they were having a dinner party. Everybody wanted him. He was top of the list. But there's no video footage of him, yet there is of his rival Edison, and there also is of Einstein, who once famously said that if you want to know who the most intelligent man in the world is, you need to speak to Nikola Tesla. So you've got someone at really the forefront of technology with no video footage and no living descendants and just a handful of images. We always see the same ones of him over his entire lifespan. So I find that strange. And to do what, as you quite rightly said, achieve what he did in quite a short period of time is unusual.
People out here really questioning if Tesla actually existed because he filed too many patents too quickly and he had no living descendants. Plus, there's no video footage of him despite being famous. Either he was superhuman or he's the greatest fictional character that ever existed.
All right. So my friend Dana, an email, and she says, make sure you're checking your labels. And we've talked about this before, but make sure when you guys are buying chicken, you look for this: hatched, raised, and harvested in the USA. If it does not say hatched, then you will know that it is lab grown fake meat. So make sure you guys are looking for that word hatched. Anytime you buy chicken, whatever kind of chicken it is, it should have the words hatched on it somewhere. So here we go. Over here, you've got it. So just make sure you guys are paying attention to that when you're out and about buying chicken, looking at chicken, things like that. It won't say it for beef, obviously, but anything else, you should see the words hatched and hopefully raised, but definitely hatched. So here's the issue though. Looking for the word hatched is definitely necessary so that you know it is real chicken. But the problem is real chicken doesn't always mean that it's good chicken. I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures that are rolling around and videos that are rolling around social media and stuff right now. I myself have been a victim of this, I guess is the right word to use, victim of this. And I'm sure numerous of you out there have experienced this as well, where the chicken that you buy, it says hatched, it says harvested, it says raised, it says all this other stuff, in the USA. And you're thinking to yourself, this is great. At least it didn't come from China or Mexico or any other countries. It's, homegrown, right? So you're excited about it. You get it home and you go to take out the chicken breast. Let's say you got a package of chicken breast, whether it's from Walmart or it's Kroger, it's Publix, Fred Meyer, Aldi, it's any of these other places. You get it home, you take the chicken breasts out and you go to maybe thin them or tenderize them or do whatever it is you're going to do. And you pull it back or you get cutting and you're like, why does it look like this? Why does it look like some sort of weird mutation has happened to this chicken? And a lot of us are having this happen and it's putting a lot of people off of buying chicken lately. I've talked to numerous people. I've had numerous people in the comments who are like, I've quit eating as much chicken. I don't eat as much beef. I've been eating more vegetables, more grains, more stuff like that, less meat. And I'm telling y'all right now, this is the direction that we're supposed to be going according to Bill Gates and the government and everything else when it comes to climate change and cow farts and chicken coops and all this other stuff. They want us to go away from the meats. They are willingly, knowingly over plumping, I think is the right word we're going to go with here. Over plumping these chickens. Their growth hormones are ridiculous. The amount of meat these birds are putting on their bodies in a record time is causing so many issues with the meat itself once we get it. Once we go out there and purchase it, take it home to eat, and it's disgusting, it's gross, and we have now wasted money. Now we're grossed out by the chicken and we don't want to eat it. We are wary of buying it again. It's not a good look. There are people.
There's one thing in the world that's the most iconic thing ever. There's a conspiracy about it.
Yeah.
Now, there's a statue that came to light recently. I'm going to show you a picture. No.
I thought you were going to
There's a statue recently. Look at this. It's an old statue, but look.
Yeah.
Now, do you see this? Do you know who this is? Look.
It's like a vampire. I don't know.
So he has wings. He has wings, and there's a chain on his ankle, right? And he has a crown. It's obviously Lucifer, like Satan.
I saw the chain. I was like, yeah.
Right? Now check this out. Look at this. What foot is this? You've seen this statue before.
Wait.
I know you've seen this statue before.
Is that the one in? No, that's not the one.
Look. You see it? So there's a chain and a foot. That's the foot of the Statue of Liberty.
Oh,
yeah.
I heard about this.
Now this statue, going back to that statue, look, there's 7 points on this crown, right? There's 7 points on this crown.
Yeah.
Statue of Liberty has 7 points on its crown.
No.
Now, go back to the statue. Look, what's by its feet? An apple. Where is the Statue of Liberty?
No.
The Big Apple. New York City. What do they call New York City? The Big Apple, fam.
No,
Crazy.
Yo.
What's in New York City? Why are they praising the Statue of Liberty, which is literally Lucifer? And you know why it's holding a torch?
Why?
Because Lucifer was the angel of light before.
Yeah.
crazy.
I seen that, but I didn't know what the seven crown.
thing,
Yeah. Damn.
Let's go ahead and take a look at a controversial Bigfoot sighting. Even though it's controversial, it's one of the closest and clearest Sasquatch clips of all time. Originally uploaded in 2022, the clip comes from a TikTok user who claims he found Bigfoot. He states, quote, "We found him. I've been hiking thousands of times and have only seen his giant footprints once, up in Bailey," end quote. The video is super up close and clear, giving us a completely HD look at a Bigfoot. This one has very dark fur, a primate-like face, and human-like eyes. And it's very tall, just hiding behind a tree. Now commenters are debating whether this one is real or not. One commenter says, "That's a real Bigfoot, I know, I've seen one, face to face in the wilderness. I nearly died." Another commenter says it's computerized. And then another commenter states, "He looks pretty intelligent if you ask me." And finally, someone else said, "I don't care if this is real or fake. At least it's a clear shot for once." And honestly, he's right. Oftentimes when we see Bigfoots caught on camera or even creatures caught on camera, they're usually blurry or far away or a combination. This one is as good as it gets, real or fake.
Got a high quality video footage of Bigfoot instead of the usual blurry mess. This one is either the most realistic costume we've ever seen, or Bigfoot finally decided to upgrade his gear. Either way, now we can see what we're always arguing about.
So let me get this straight. You believe in dinosaurs, but you don't believe in dragons? Did you know in the 1936 Webster's Dictionary, the word dragon was listed as a real creature, a huge serpent, just now rare. Not imaginary, not make-believe, rare. Now take a look at this picture, burn it into your mind, because I'm about to read something from an old book in my collection. This is an account of Marco Polo's travels where he wrote about huge serpents. In this province are found snakes and great serpents of such vast size as to strike fear into those who see them. They have 2 forelegs near the head. The head is very big and the eyes are bigger than a great loaf of bread. The mouth is large enough to swallow a man whole. Those who take them proceed to extract the gall from the inside. If a woman is hard in labor, they give her such a dose and she is delivered at once. Again, if one has any disease and applies a small quantity of this gall, he shall speedily be cured. So a natural cure-all from a creature that we are told never existed. If it did exist, that would be a big problem for Big Pharma. Now, let's talk about dinosaurs. The word dinosaur wasn't invented until 1842, and nearly all ancient civilizations depicted dragons in art, writing, or another form. And the dinosaur bones you think you were seeing in the museums, most of these are plaster, resin, not the real thing. And the Chinese zodiac calendar just happens to have 11 real animals and 1 mythological creature. Dinosaurs are as real as the images of Earth NASA puts out. Just something to think about.
Yeah, a century ago, dragons were listed as real creatures and not imaginary. Even Marco Polo wrote about huge serpents with legs and healing properties. Meanwhile, most dinosaur bones in the museum are plaster replicas. Either we've been lied to about history or dragons had better PR agents.